In this video, we want to explore that if an organization had minor nonconformities identified on an on-site audit, and because of the COVID pandemic, they cannot address those nonconformities in the originally defined corrective action timescale, what happens next? Niall, can you give some context?
Yeah, so again, hopefully if you've watched the video that talks about what happens with a major, there are some similarities there in terms of this categorization called 100% resolved. And we explained and we talked about that in the video relating to major nonconformities. So in this case, if it's a minor nonconformity, the certification body can identify these nonconformities as 100% resolved. But for them to do that, there would need to be some minimum criteria that were met, namely that the client had described and implemented containment action and that they'd gone through and undertaken the root cause analysis. And both of these criteria are described in Rules 5th, Section 5.11.3, subsection A and B.
Right, okay, I understand that. And Devin, maybe you could just give us an insight as to the timescale an organisation has to try and resolve a minor nonconformity on an on-site audit when they have been disrupted by the COVID pandemic. Maybe some of their staff are working from home, maybe some are furloughed, they're not actually working. What are the timescales?
IATF Rules 5th edition, for reasons that are directly linked to COVID-19 pandemic, Section 5.11.1 and 5.11.2, is granting an additional extension of a maximum of 90 calendar days for all required relevant steps to be completed.
Right, so that means then the organization, whereas normally for that total nonconformity management process, it is 90 days, including the CB verification. What we're saying now is there is another 90 days if they're needed, because directly associated with the COVID pandemic. Okay, and is there the need for on-site verification to address minor nonconformities?
No. There is not, but I just wanted to say, Paul, that even if that second 90-day nonconformity management period has expired, the certification bodies can use this status of 100% resolved if those minimum criteria have been met. And what that really means is that in the eyes of the certification body, the nonconformity is it's not fully closed, but it is essentially closed. So containment and actions are in place. And because it's a minor nonconformity, that is not mandated to be verified on site through a special audit, but it will need to be verified on site. So in this case, if a minor has been identified as 100% resolved, there is no need for a special audit to go ahead to verify it, although in some cases the CB might require that. But as a minimum, at the next scheduled audit, time must be allocated to verify those nonconformities that have been 100% resolved.
Okay, so let's summarize then that IATF are giving an organization more time if they are affected by the COVID pandemic to try and effectively resolve minor nonconformities. IATF are given the option of this use of 100% resolve, but under the strict conditions explained by Niall and Devin. It is not mandatory to do on-site verification of minor nonconformities prior to the next scheduled audit, but at the next scheduled audit, there must be additional time added for the verification and closure of any minor nonconformity that has been 100% resolved.